Hey everybody, so tonight I'm going to review something a little out of the ordinary for me. I generally try to stay away from the newer toy lines, with the exception of Masters of the Universe Origins. I give myself a pass with that line. But for example, a lot of you have asked in the comments about whether or not I collect for the newer Transformer lines, the War for Cybertron, the Studio Series, the movie line toys. I try to stay away from them because when I tumble down those rabbit holes, I spend a lot of extra money on things that I end up not being really attached to, and then years later I sell them. But every now and then I crack and I find a way to convince myself to get something newer. So let's look at this. I was able to convince myself to get this because of a comment on TikTok from one of you guys who asked if I had seen this, if I was interested in picking it up because they thought it would be a really interesting piece to display in the background of the G1 toys in the ship mode like we always saw it on the cartoon. And even though I do actually like his robot mode, I will probably be displaying it like that. But anyway, let's take a look. He's got a few extra added bonuses that we'll look at probably in a second part to this video. So here he is. He comes packaged in ship mode, and he is a big chunk of a Transformer. These gun turrets do not turn, but besides that, I have no complaints over the amount of detail and the design. These are some of the extra added bonuses. I have heard people are complaining about these kind of cavities on either side. They don't really bother me too much, but they are kind of a break in the overall shape of the ship. This thing is heavy. It does have 3 landing gears underneath. So in there's the bridge of the ship, right? So the world's tiniest Optimus Prime. And this stays removed to get the Ark into robot mode, so we'll leave that aside. And like a lot of these newer Transformers, there's just too many steps for me to show the transformation in the video, so he's a beast. There are some empty bits, some big openings in him, but it's all kind of forgivable. And he's a big boy. He is almost on par with my fans' toys, Omega Supreme. Part 2 to come. Part 2 review of the Ark. Something about the face sculpt reminds me of the Transformers animated series from the mid-2000s. No? I don't know. So part 1, we looked at the Ark spaceship and sort of like a general overview of the robot mode. The bridge section that comes out of his chest is this box right here, which is its own Transformer. Just another quick look at the bridge of the Ark with the teeny tiny Optimus Prime, which is so cool. Okay. So here is Mainframe, whose design I very much like. He's blocky and simple, but still interesting. And you can remove him, but unless you do, Mini Optimus Prime just sits on his back like that. How he scales with the big guy. And Mainframe's got one other trick. He turns into Teletran 1, which I think is fantastic. And it scales pretty well with some of the G1 cars, the Autobots. I have a beat up Hound here, but he looks pretty good next to it. And if you turn it around, on the back side you have these two discs. Hard drives? I'm not sure. And lastly, attached up here, somebody tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I think this is the little scanner that Teletran 1 sends out at the end of episode 1 to scan the vehicle modes for the Autobots. Somebody tell me if I'm right or wrong about that. So that is the Autobot Ark. A new figure, but that caters to 80s kids and the Transformers mythology we love.